Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 522 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. You guys are the absolute best for being here with me twice a week. I mean, these episodes are short for a few reasons. One being, I love short podcasts and I wish there were more. And two being, you can listen on your way to work or anywhere that's quick without having to stop and start. And three being, we have short attention spans, so short is good. So be sure to share these with anyone who you think might enjoy a burst of inspiration twice a week that's usually 10 minutes or less. And thank you in advance. All right, so I had a really long, really beautiful conversation with my little sister Molly a few weeks ago. We have a lot of long conversations on the phone, but this one was different. This one we were talking about things that weren't really easy. She was saying how she was concerned that X, the social media platform, was ruining her people, so to speak, mainly myself and her husband. Those are her people, or two of her favorite people, I think I would like to say. But anyway, so X is really the only social media that I do anymore, and her husband too. So she decided, okay, I've got to see what this is all about because she doesn't really get on it. So she got on X, and let's just say it didn't go very well because it's uncensored and it's unfiltered, and there are things on there that can be disturbing if you get yourself into it. And after she was on it for a little bit, she said it made her sad for being on it, and so she thought, well, I'm going to talk to Heidi about her usage of it, worrying that it might be doing the same for me. She commented that she thought I had been a little edgier lately, and maybe that was why. Now, I noticed at first when she said that, I started to be defensive and sort of question myself, like, am I edgier? But then I thought, just wait, hear her out. She's my best friend besides my husband, and when she says something, I definitely want to listen. So I thought maybe there's something to it, maybe there's not. So I listened and I asked questions instead of trying to immediately make my case for myself. I asked her about her experience on X and in what ways also had I seemed edgier. I wanted some examples so that I could see. And some of what she experienced on X was watching those videos of the New Orleans disaster. If you remember those, they were terrible. And there were definitely videos on X that were kind of, I don't know, they were explicit, and nobody wants to see that. It is unfiltered and it's uncensored. So she proceeded to say there's something to things being filtered. And I said, okay, so what you're saying is you think censorship is good. And she said, well, if I were the victim of one of those attacks and my body's on the video, would you want everyone to see it? And I do see her point, but I also never watch those videos. They show up and I scroll right by because I know I can't handle it. I don't want those images in my head. It's possible to not watch those videos if you know you can't handle what you'll see. Personal responsibility, in my opinion, has got to become a part of our society again. Censorship is never the answer. Censorship allows bad things to take place and continue. The reality is those videos cause outrage, which makes change happen. But if you can't watch it and be okay, then it's on you to know your own limitations and not to watch it. I can't watch it, and so I don't. Now, some of you may disagree with me on this, but freedom of speech is freedom of all speech, not just the kind you like. Now, getting back to the conversation with Molly, she says that she, unlike me, is going to click on every video, even the ones that have sensitivity labels. I would never do that. So my experience is not that. For me, I know I'm too sensitive to watch those, and so I don't. I don't want that image. And if you watch them, then the algorithm sends you more and more of the same. So you have to be really careful how you spend your time on any social media because the algorithm does do that. Now, I'm happy Molly talked to me about X because I have been trying to limit my time on it to a total of 30 minutes a day. And this conversation encourages me to be true to that goal. So it made me better by us having this conversation. And I'm proud of her for that. I'm a lot older than her. I was 18 when she was born, but we're starting starting now, we're kind of more like peers and she's becoming so incredibly intelligent, and I do respect her opinion always. I'm also proud of me because I asked for specific examples of how I was being edgy. I didn't just accept that as a truth. I didn't just take that label on. I asked for specific examples because her perception is her reality, and I wanted to understand what, if anything, I needed to watch or change. And she couldn't give me any examples. Now, to her credit, she said, I know you've been reading the Boundaries book and focusing on not taking responsibility for other people's feelings, and maybe I'm just not used to that, and so it's coming across as edgy. Maybe because you don't have the finesse with it yet. And I laughed and I said, I wholeheartedly agreed, because I do notice I do not have that finesse yet. I have been reading and working on setting boundaries. And, until you get really good at it, which she came out of the womb good at it, I did not. I'm kind of clunky with it. But in my mind, that's exactly it. I haven't perfected how to say no without it coming out in an awkward or maybe even aggressive way. It's going to take a little time, and that's okay. But see, she was mature enough to bring it up, and I was mature enough to hear it without taking on labels that weren't actually true. I love that we had this conversation because we both grew from it. Now, I'll be even more careful about X, and she'll probably stop getting on it at all. Her perception of X is very different from mine, as is our experience with it. Also, she knows I'm not going to take criticism at face value, and I know I don't have to accept every label someone gives me. Having clear and open conversations can be scary, but when both parties accept responsibility for their own thoughts and feelings, the conversation is a mature one, like the one I had with Molly, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and I think she did too. Other people's perception is their reality, not ours, unless we take it on. My challenge to you is to recognize when you're taking on someone else's perception of you. Try not to get defensive like I did initially, but ask for clarity so you can decide for yourself if it rings true, or if you can chalk it up to it's just someone else's opinion. And also, be careful spending too much time on any social media. It's part of our life now, but it's not the best part. The best part is the person sitting next to you that deserves your full attention, the puppies that thrive when you take them for a long walk, or the moments of clarity and creativity you get from spending time in meditation or in nature. You were put here to create, not consume. Share this with 3 people who you would love to spend more time with. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.